Hello friends, this is the first chapter on our lecture series. So in this chapter I'll give you a brief introduction of our software, that is Staad Pro. So here Staad stands for Structure Analysis and Design, and Pro stands for the program. So Staad Pro is a software that does structural analysis and design of the civil engineering structures. So it can do structural analysis and design of a whole lot of civil engineering structures. So it can do buildings, so any kind of building it can do. It can do bridges and other structures, so steel warehouses. This software has been developed by Bentley. Originally it was created by somebody else and later it was bought by Bentley. Now it is under the ownership of the Bentley. So here in this lecture series I'll be using Staad Pro V8i Select Series 4, and you can use other versions as well, so they pretty much look similar. Once you open your program you will land up here. So here you can see the first one is the project tasks, from where you can open a new project or open an existing project, or you can change the configuration of your software. Also here on the right side you can find the recent files, and so I just did some of these buildings. Okay, if you hover over it and you can see the preview of that structure over here. So from here you can see the help topics, where you can access certain help and user manual of this software, and here you can see the license configuration. Once you land up here, the first thing that you have to do is, so if you're already working on any of the structure, you can open that structure or structural file from here. But if you're creating any file from scratch, just click on new project. So we click on new project here. Okay, so before doing that we have to do certain configuration. Let's do that. So click on configuration over here, left click, and from here you can select the unit that you want to work on. So if you want to work with meter and kilonewton, so you can use the metric, and if you want to work with pound and foot, where foot is the unit of the length and pound is the unit of the force, you can use English. So I'll be using metric. So after that, next thing that you can change is, so go to Staad default design codes. So from here you can change these design codes later also, but you can change from here as well. So select default steel design code. So here I select IS 800 2007. So you can select the code that is followed in your country. So as an example here I'll be using Indian standard codes, but you can follow along with the codes that are followed in your country. Also default concrete design code, I'll be using IS 456. So select any code that is followed in your country. Alright, so similarly you can select the aluminum code, timber code, and shear wall design code as well. So next thing that you can change is the global axis orientation. So click on this. So select the axis orientation. So Y up means that, so here we got three axes, that is X axis, Y axis, and the Z axis. So three axes. I'll show you these axes in a while. So if you click on Y up, which means that the upward axis or the vertical axis will be named as Y, and if you do Z up, then the vertical axis will be named as Z, based on the orientation of the axis. So how you model your structure will be determined. So select Y up, okay, so which is the default one, and it is also helpful. And okay, so also you can change the background color. So if you want the white background or you want the black background, and you can also change other things like section profile table. So from here I'll select the Indian. Okay, so I'll select Indian here. So you can select the country that you live in, and you can select the country whose profile table is followed in your country. So just click on apply, or you can just directly say accept. So once you have made the configuration as per your requirement, the next thing that you do is click on new project. So here different options are available. So space means that, so if you check space, So it means that a space is a structure which is a three-dimensional framed structure. So this is basically talking about the normal civil engineering structures. For example, a building or a bridge, they are in 3D form, so you can use this option in order to model those structures. Similarly, we got option as plane. So a plane is a structure bounded by x y coordinate, so it is just a single plane, so it is not 3D. You cannot go in the third dimension here. Similarly, we got floor or we got truss. So we'll use the space option and we'll name our file here. So I'll just keep it as default, and also you can change the location of your file. So always make a separate folder for the Staad Pro files, because when you model your building and you analyze and you design, a lot of results are produced and those results are saved in a separate files. So Staad Pro will create multiple files for a structure or a project, so you have to create a separate folder so that you don't mess up your other items. So here also you can change the unit of the length. So I'll keep the meter. You can change it to foot, millimeter, centimeter, and the unit of the force also you can change from here. So you can keep the kilonewton, kilo, pound, pound, okay, whatever you are comfortable with, or the unit that is followed or normally followed in your country, you can select that. After that, click on next. So here we'll use the add beam option. So beam here doesn't only mean the beam that we normally understand in a building. So beam here means all the beams and all the columns. So this is basically a frame. So if you want to add a plate, so a plate means a slab. So beam here is defined as a member, and plate and solids, they are defined as the elements. Also you can use the structure wizard to start your project. So right now I'll use only add beam option. So after that, click on finish. So guys, this much for this video, and in the next video we will talk about the menu bar and the different tools of the Staad Pro.